Hi everybody! Tonight we're gonna wrap the day in the cyber news. Only 3 news got my attention. It was pretty quiet for a first day, but it's worth watching it. Okta SSO, which means single sign-on account targeting a phishing-based data theft attack. So SSO is a great tool because it does allow to centralize the authentication and apply some security control, like unified control over account security. But this is also double sided sword because once you take over an account on the single sign-on, you get access to every system relying on it for authentication, and therefore this is why attackers really value the takeover of single sign-on account, because they know if they breach one, they will have access to everything related to that. This is the same thing when people use a Google account or a Facebook account to sign in on other third-party services. If an attacker managed to compromise the account, he can log in on all the third-party that has been attached to it. So that's something to consider. In this case, awareness program can help reduce the likelihood for a user to be falling for the scam. More details in the article, which I will link in the video description as well. Interesting thing, I mean, this is kind of expected. From a whisper to scream, Europe frets about over-reliance on US tech. I know I've been warning a lot about cloud issues, centralization, and technology that actually, first of all, exploit your data, access your data, leaks your data continuously due to misconfiguration, different abuse. Even they got once hacked by the Russian state-sponsor actor, and which got the root certificate of Azure at some point. So who knows, what's happening in the cloud. And what happened is, given the political situation right now and the US president putting threat on basically everybody except US, Europe started to wake up and say, hey, but we do rely too much on US tech, and there is a urge to move out of US tech and leave all of that alone. And I spoke about in a previous video, AWS was trying to convince that it was a sovereign cloud and stuff like that in Europe, to maintain customers. But it doesn't work like that because the US have the Cloud Act. So any company based in the US have to give away access to its customer data to the US government. So they can pretend anything they want as long as it's a US company. No, doesn't work. So yeah, that's where we are right now, and that's a direct consequence of the crazy situation right now and the threat all over the place. And finally, critical GNU innet util telnet dflow. Basically, you can log in and get root access for system exposing telnet server on the network if it's running on Linux. Well, I will not be too worried about, because as you know, telnet is not embedded encryption at all. It's like clear text. If someone grabbed the network packet when someone log on telnet, they can see clear text everything, login, password, and stuff like that. So this is mainly used for old stuff. All local legacy technology, which should be on a segmented network. You should not have any telnet stuff anywhere, except maybe for some fun stuff that has no importance that can be exposed to the public. And yeah, so aside of that, I'm not too worried about yet. If you have telnet on your machines, on your network, for some reason, you may want to patch it, because there is a patch release available to avoid this exploit, which has been unnoticed for 11 years. There's also a wake-up call and a reminder. I always sign my posting about connected equal hacked, because after all, that's just what we see. How much of these are still unknown or known by only a few people that are using that as backdoors, you cannot know. So this is why we use overlapping security control with multiple layers, hoping that one layer will avoid the exploitation of that. And it works, because if you have a segmented network, this telnet vulnerability cannot be exploited remotely, because it's going to be isolated on properly segmented networks. So yeah, that's the way to do it. So that's about it for today. I wish you a great day, and see you tomorrow, most likely, for a new video. Bye bye. Oh, I forget. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. This is growing the channel, and yep, this is how we get notification for the new content if you like it. Thank you. Bye.